Holy shit.
It's time for the College Hockey Show! And now here's your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, and the Degenerate Bostonian, Mike Warino.
That's modified Chris Marsh with the intro there. Ref Marsh, shout out Ref Marsh at Ref Marsh. He did the whole intro, and that's his voice all tweaked and weirded out. TikTok, I know you don't get to see it, so if you want to see it, come over to... Oh, wow, Dallas just scored with an empty net to make it 6-5 since we were talking about that game, since we started. Anyway, thank you for joining the College Hockey Show. We did have a College Hockey Show. We did have a College Hockey game tonight. Maine goes into UMass and fucking dollywops a Mike. What are your thoughts? No, you didn't watch the game.
I didn't get to watch it. I'll admit, guys, did watch the Bruins game tonight because it was supposed to be Swayman and Allmark, the Bear Hug game, but Corpusal did play. Going into it, to me, that was a measuring stick game for UMass and Maine, both of them. Maine just had a big sweep over BU, and we've been up and down on BU. They've got the talent, but they're not playing well. UMass has been right there, beating teams they should beat. They got goalied against Omaha, but I'm like, all right, where are they going to be at? They split with Cornell, who's ranked, but getting beat down at home against Maine, that says something. So if I'm a Minute fan, I'm hitting the panic button a little bit, but also at the same time, you got them tomorrow. Like, this could very much be a split because Maine's been wildly inconsistent this year.
I'll just say this. If they split, I don't have any concerns.
Yeah.
Maine is one of the best teams in the country. We expected them to be here. They should not even be fighting for a top 16, in my opinion, by the end of the season. If they are, they've had less of a season than we expected them to have. Am I wrong in saying that?
I look at Maine. I'm like, all right, you finished number 4 last year. You lost a defenseman and a forward. You should be right there. That's it. That's all you lost. You should be top 4 again, or maybe top 10. I think actually the field's stronger this year, but top 10 at a minimum.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about Maine and UMass. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on all platforms. We are live on Twitch, X, Instagram. Before I forget, right after we get done with your Thursday news, we're going to go into some news for the show. I lost it. So right after you talk about, why did it do that? Right after you talk about, obviously Swayman Allmark didn't have an Alaska tie in Quinnipiac. That's the UAF Nanooks, by the way.
So that's new.
Yeah, I think the Nanooks are going to start to get some looks. They're starting to make some noise.
And pairwise, that's going to cripple Quinnipiac. That's a massive tie they couldn't afford. You'll hear me say it 100 times, especially the ECAC schools. It's the depth usually isn't there. Cornell looks promising. Clarkson's look great, and all of a sudden, all right, maybe they are an equal strength conference to like a Hockey East.
Yeah.
So
Cornell made it from that last year, right? And not Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac was not a team tournament.
Well, Quinnipiac made the tournament, but Cornell had to win the conference to get in. They had no business being in the Natty. They won, and then shout out to Kelly, the Bruins photographer. She was in my bracket pool. As she said, nerds unite, we will beat the Spartans. And they did. Never count Cornell out when they're in the tournament. That team finds ways to win.
And look, Michigan State, I think, is on a mission. Darkness, what's up? I think Michigan State's on a mission this year.
Absolutely.
To prove that they made a mistake last year because they were one of the best teams in the country. And I would have liked to see. I think it would have helped Ike Howard too. I know he's struggling a little bit with the with Edmonton. I heard the Oilers Nation guys today. Shout out Liam Horban and Tyler Yaremchuk. I heard them say today on their show that they would be okay with him going down to Baco and seasoning. So not great when you're not just barely a month into the season and you're already ready to send in one of your biggest acquisitions in the offseason down to the AHL this season, and Ike Howard. So would really like to see him play one more year of college, in my opinion. And boy, can you imagine if he was on that team? sometimes, I know the money, dude. I mean, but dude, NHL money is not huge. And with the way they can pay players in college now, it's probably pretty comparable. And you can keep that. I mean, you can only play college once, right?
Right.
So if you leave after a year and you go pro, you can't go back. So it's just one of
I
those
even
things.
said, even pre NIL, like just having the athletic scholarship, I always say, do I want to play minor league hockey or do I want to stay in college? Like, stay if you can. Obviously, if they're like, you either come now or you're not getting signed, fine, leave. But if they're letting you stay, stay.
So for the chat and in on TikTok, I know you can't see. Darkness says, I will be watching the Penn State game for future St. Louis Blue Gavin McKenna and only Gavin McKenna. Yeah, I mean McKenna's looked okay, man. He's by far not been the best player on their team though. I think a lot of guys thought. Now I think by the time the season's over, he's going to do a lot better. But he's right where I kind of expected him to be. And he's in the top 5. But I'm not ready to call him the Hobie Baker winner. This is not Macklin Celebrity to me. So, and I watched him in person, and I'll be honest with you, as good as he is offensively, he's that much of a liability defensively right now in his career. And I'm not being critical of him. I'm just saying he was a big time minus. A lot of goals were scored when he was in his own end. So he's an offensive dynamo, but he's look, sometimes those things don't. I know people don't put a lot of stock in plus minus, but I just saw him and look, I thought Charlie Serrato took over. I thought there were other guys on that team to take over. So yeah, and like Darkness, if I'm the Sharks and I have a pick between McKenna or Verhoff, I'm taking Verhoff because you don't need a skilled guy up front. So
That's
yeah.
fair.
And Avi thinks JJ Webush is the best player on Penn State. So yeah, no, Avi, you're not going to get any argument from me on that either. I totally get it. This is why we welcome all the opinions, man. I'm not shitting. Okay, real quick, before I forget the news, and then we'll get into Mike's Friday and Saturday key matchups that he wants to talk about. I'm going to share this with everybody that's on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Twitch can see this. TikTok, I'm sorry, but I will post it after the show. Next Thursday, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. local for me, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a special Veterans Day show. I know Veterans Day is Tuesday. Those of you listen, I'm a veteran. I served 25 years, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I got to do share here real quick. Okay. Let me share screen. Let's share the window here. We'll go there. Okay, and here's the ad. So let's see if I get. Well, let me do view full. Yeah. There we go. So that is happening in Anchorage at Zip Kombucha at Schoon Street, November 13th. Mike and I will be live. I'm working on trying to get a guest. I do not have a guest right now, but I've got some feelers out. And I'm going to try to get a guest. I'm going to try to get 1 or 2 guests. And I don't want to tell you who those guests are because if they fall through, I don't want people to be disappointed. And obviously, I won't false advertise. But I'm going to ask two big time guests to come on. One that works in college hockey and one that works in the NHL. So we'll do a little bit of NHL talk too. Okay. What do you guys think? All right. So next Thursday we'll be live from Zip Kombucha. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So either way, if I get those guests and I have to come home to broadcast, we'll still have them on. So, but they say their Wi-Fi should handle my net. Now I won't be able to be on TikTok, so TikTok, I apologize, but I'll try to go live afterwards or something. We'll figure that out. So anyway, that's we're going places. We're trying to do different stuff here. So, all right, this should stop displaying. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. I feel like I'm monkey fingering around. Okay, let's let me get over here. Let's get back to your escape. Okay.
So yeah, I'll say going into this Friday, ECAC finally opens up in full. Very excited. We've seen a few of them play a couple games here and there, but their conference now is in full swing. Cornell and Harvard are there this Friday night. A contest winner, Erin, will be joining. Her and a guest will be joining myself, the Savage, and Frisbee Brian and I at that game. So we will get you coverage from there with the Big Red. So thank you, Erin and friend. Well, looking forward to meeting you guys. But ECAC opens up. Pretty exciting stuff. Very curious how Quinnipiac, Cornell, Clarkson, those three in particular pan this year. But let's not bury the lead here. We have number 3 Penn State at number 1 Michigan State.
Yeah,
Gavin McKenna versus Mr. Martone here, and to me, you can hit the hater button. You have full permission, everyone, to hit the hater button. I think Mr. Martone is going to stick it to McKenna this weekend. I really, really do. I don't think McKenna gets much done. I think he's going to get embarrassed by Martone. I think Martone's going to beat him up and down the ice, coast to coast. I see McKenna posting at least this Friday night a -2.
Okay, well, we're gonna see, because I worry about I don't worry about Penn State's depth, and I think that's what makes them a good team. So,
Trey August,
I like Michigan State. I got you. This is the first real test, I think, for Michigan State. I don't think they have a quality win against a team that's this good. So I would not be shocked to see a split in this series. Just my opinion on this one. I'll let you finish up with your thoughts before we jump into Wisconsin, Michigan.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Like, again, seeing Michigan State and BU, I would say talent-wise, BU's low-key there. They're just not playing well.
They're bad.
That was a quarter inch away from being a split.
But they're bad defensively too, though, Mike. And
yeah,
is BU, even though they're the school we think they are most of the time, are they really a quality win this year? I'll tell you right now, Penn State goes in and dollywops Michigan State. I'll be ready to kiss the feet of them being the best team in the country. But, I think this will be a split, and I think a lot of questions won't be answered.
No, I'm looking at Ohio State should have won the first time they played.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Penn State was definitely the better team the second game. But it was still close. It was still a close game.
Yeah.
And as I've been saying, Ohio State, I think, is a Frozen Four team. They got to get their stuff together. Michigan State is a team that should have been a Frozen Four last year and, got upset. And so watch out for Sparta this year. I've been saying it, and I guarantee you Michigan State's been looking at this game this weekend for a couple of weeks.
I mean, this is why I'm surprised Ike Howard didn't come back. Because what's one more year? I mean, then he would have been a UFA anyway. He wouldn't have had to worry about all this. I want to be traded to Edmonton. He could have signed with whoever he wanted, and Edmonton could have had to pay him a little bit more money. Honestly, it might have benefited him.
Right.
Because as an undrafted college player, you can get more money. Now, the rules are going to change after this season. So, again, I don't know if that was his motivator or whatever. Hey, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Appreciate you. But, by the way, that Anaheim-Dallas game was 7-5 final. So that went final. Dude, Anaheim's legit, bro.
Yep.
Like, they're legit. I think, by the way, Florida and the Kings 2-2. Yeah, Daniel. College hockey, baby. Okay, Mike, let's talk about Merrimack or Wisconsin at Michigan. I would not be surprised before you go here that there would be a split, but I think they're going to get a little Chicklets bump for the Michigan Wolverines. The head coach was on Colby and mutual friend Colby Armstrong, friend of the show, and Maddie Merles was on their show, Chicklets Game Notes, Wednesday. And I really like the guy. I think he has a really good head screwed on his shoulders. And I'm excited about Michigan. I think they could be one of the best teams in the country. And I like it because their fan base is the best. They're awesome.
We
need to see them because they're passionate as shit.
They are. They really are. And again, guys, call me a homer all you want. It's at the Yost. And for those who have never been, I get it. It's been remodeled. I've been to the new and the old Yost, and there's a massive difference. Don't get me wrong. That's still not an easy place to play. And I'm pretty high on Wisconsin, but
yeah. I think it could be a split pretty easy. I wouldn't walk away
too.
feeling less about either team. If Michigan sweeps Wisconsin, I'm gonna be like, Michigan is the good team. I think they are. But if they split, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Wisconsin is also equally good. I just feel like I won't be shocked if it's a split. So
I think it's going to be one of those. I do think Michigan splits, but I don't think they're both in regulation. I think Friday Michigan's going to take it to them, and I think Saturday Wisconsin's going to come back and, I think it's
an
actually
OT winner.
Yeah, like I think Michigan geeks out in OT, but I think each team's going to take at least a point away from this weekend in that matchup. But again, this is what I love about when the conference play starts. Especially, we're gonna talk a lot of Big Ten this year because there's
it's good. They might be the best. They're probably the best conference in the country. It's okay to say.
Yeah,
I mean, look at where Minnesota and that's with Minnesota being absolute dog shit this year.
Same with Notre Dame.
Which is unreal because they're usually the creme de la creme of the Big Ten.
Yep.
Like without question. Them or Michigan. Pretty common, those two. Okay. Merrimack at BU. Boy, oh boy. Merrimack sweeps this.
I don't get this rivalry at all. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what happened. The last 6 times these teams have met, there's been a fight. 3 of them, the benches have cleared. I was at one game. Actually, it was last year.
Dude, these are 2 Boston teams, are they not?
Yeah, but there's more like BU, BC, you would think would have the bench clearing brawls, and it doesn't have that.
Well, they're like BU, BC's a Catholic school. They're told to behave.
I guess. I don't.
No, but I mean, come on, man. They are. You got to figure like those kids are. I'm not saying they're the square.
Maybe that's it. I can't.
But if you grow up Catholic, I don't know. Are you a big time troublemaker in this day and age? I think my dad, who grew up Catholic,
but like even BU Northeastern, like the blood isn't there. Even in Beanpot games, like I was at a game last year. For those who have heard,
maybe BU should get the blood there because Northeastern owns their ass.
They really do. Well, there was 11 guys from each team in the penalty box.
Yeah.
So I don't get this rivalry. I love it.
So can you bet if there's a penalty? Sorry to cut you off. Can you just bet if there's a fighting major?
I would bet it if you could find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way to place that bet. So you look at this on paper and you go, BU should hit him with the dolly wop. Pick Merrimack to steal a point here this week.
I think they're going to win both games. I think they're going to win both games. If BU hasn't figured it out, I think Merrimack could go in there and sweep them. And now we're starting to talk about BU not being a playoff team.
So last year, Merrimack needed to win a lot of games in a row to smell the tournament.
Yeah.
Beat BU 5-1 at home and then beat them 4-3 in overtime in the same weekend. So, and we know how good BU was last year. They were on fire, but, they started to go down. Eisman took a stupid penalty, took a slap shot right at the ref's shin, immediate ejection. Yeah. Jay personally threw out Hudson because he was being words we can't say on TV.
We need him to be good too. Keep your shit together, Cole.
But so I mean,
might be playing for the Caps next year, buddy.
Yeah, this was the weekend that ignited BU's turnaround at the end of the last year. So it's happening this year. So look for let's see if trends continue. Merrimack beats the piss out of him, and then BU comes out as a ball of fire. But
real quick, Avi says he's going to Stonehill and Northeastern Friday night, and tomorrow night Matthews Arena is so lit. All right, Avi also says Terriers cannot get swept here, or they will drop like a rock. I agree with that sentiment, Avi.
Yep.
They will not be in the top 20 if they get swept by Merrimack, I think. But worse things have happened. It's not over for them. Let's get into Providence, UConn, my man.
So one of the reasons I bought season tickets is I didn't get to go to this game last year. I will be there on Saturday. I've got a couple extra tickets if anyone else just wants to join me. Massive game. They're actually trying to hype this up as a rivalry game. Like, I get it because neither team really has one, so it makes sense in my mind. You have Providence that doesn't have a great win. They've played Michigan real well. They played the BUBCs real well, but they don't have a great win this year. And you have UConn, who Mr. Viking Mikulski is, I think, the biggest human being I've ever seen on skates. I will honestly compare him to Char because he's just a square.
Wow.
And I don't say that as an insult either. Like, this dude is massive. He's a power forward. He can score. I love watching him play. I cannot wait to watch him play. So looking for this. I'm like, UConn wants to keep winning. And I think they have a real chance to win Hockey East this year. I really do. I actually took them as a sleeper preseason. And I think Providence definitely needs a real ranked opponent win. So this is one I'm looking at, like 2 top 20s. Last year, the away team won every game between these two. So I'm expecting, and if that trend continues, it would be UConn would win Friday, Providence wins Friday, UConn wins Saturday. But we shall see. But look for 2 very physical games, low scoring as well. Look for if you're looking for the offensive gun show, this is not the series for you. Most likely. Next. Oh,
Okay. I like both home teams win UConn on Friday and Providence wins Saturday. All right. Okay. Yeah. Boy, I can see a split there too, Avi. That one feels like that. Denver at Western Michigan.
so
I think Western could take both.
I do too.
I'm not sure about Denver, and that's not just because they lost to my UAA Seawolves. I don't think my Seawolves are as bad as people think.
They
But
lost to Northeastern too, and everyone's like, "Oh, they beat BC." Well, a lot of people have beaten BC this year. So,
yeah, this year's BC might not be a tournament team. So
I said they were a sketchy number 4 in Hockey East. Now they're looking like a number 6, number 7. So it looks like I still overhyped them. But Bruins fans, there's still hope for us because that's practically the Bruins minor league team. But going back to the game we're talking about here, Denver, high-flying offense. And we know how Denver clutches up. We've all seen it. We've seen it done year after year after year. But in Western, we've seen their power play struggles, and they take penalties. Denver's got a great power play, and Western takes penalties. So my question will be to the Broncos, can you stay out of the box? You're going to get 5 power plays in 2 games. You need to convert on 3 of them to beat Denver. At the same time, you're averaging 7 penalties a weekend. You give Denver 7 penalties, they're going to score 3. You have to match them with less, you're going to have less chances than you have to match. You got to stay out of the box, Western. If you continue to go man down, Denver will punish you. And I'm with you, Beard. I don't think Denver's a top 10, just seeing how a few games I've seen. But
yeah, we'll get Avi. We'll get to that one. Nodak at Omaha.
So the Savage actually just dropped a future bet on this one. He took Simon Lakowski. He's the Omaha starting goaltender. He took him to win the Richter at plus 1,200. Lakowski is averaging 46 saves a game. Pretty good numbers, if I don't say so.
This is Omaha's goalie.
Yes, this is Omaha's goalie.
Yeah.
So
let everybody know.
I didn't see this coming this year out of him. I'm not mad at all. I always love seeing guys who, come out of the woodworks. This is why college hockey is great. You have people we've never heard of, and they just come full storm.
Yeah,
and
Avi likes Omaha for the upset.
Like you have a great goalie, and if he gets you 46 saves a game, I'm not knocking North Dakota. North Dakota is the better team here, but I mean, how many goals do you score if he makes 46 saves? 2? 1?
Yeah, Avi likes to split for Saturday. I got you, man. And you can get goalied in any game, any league. Any league you can get goalied. So we've all seen it 60, 70 save 1-0 games. It happens. It can happen.
Yeah.
So
look
happens in the pros. And
yeah,
Avi wanted to talk about St. Cloud versus Minnesota Duluth. He says a huge series. I like Minnesota Duluth money line minus 210. Add it with Western.
I hate to admit it because I hate the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
they're a great team. I didn't think they would be the team they would be this year. You're going to hear me say that 1,000 times.
St. Cloud's good though too, man.
St. Cloud is good, but this Duluth team just looks like a team on a mission. I think the upperclassmen have taken it personal that they haven't played in the tournament yet. They haven't been there. Yeah. If you're an upperclassman as a Bulldog, you have yet to play in April. And
so Avi says the Bulldogs are going back to the tournament and Northeastern.
Yeah.
I think Northeastern's in the tournament too, Avi. And I would not be surprised if UMD's there too.
Yeah, both of them. Seniors haven't played in the tournament. They go to those schools to win national titles and at least play postseason. both of them playing like they want to be there. I do think Duluth, despite I think St. Cloud's a pretty good team. They've won us a couple bets this year. I think Duluth just swings the hammer on them. I think they're going to be close games, like a 3-1-4-2 style, but I really like Duluth here a lot. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Colorado College at ASU. Is this kind of the end of the road for ASU here if they don't do something this weekend?
I think so.
Yeah, they better
I
do
hate
something.
to say it. And you're going against Merv Beck, who's a phenomenal goalie, great pick by the Avalanche. I mean, right in their backyard, but they got him probably a year earlier in the draft than I would have expected. But you get him later in the draft, and that's another reason why I love him.
All you want to do is let him develop forever anyway. I mean, they just signed Blackwood to like a 5-year deal, so they're not expecting this guy to be in here. And if this guy's smart, he'll stay 2 more years in college. So.
Right, and like they got him as I think a 4th or a 5th rounder, and I think they probably would have had to get him in the 2nd round if they got him a year later. And this is why I love college. You can draft him, let him stay, and ASU, good luck scoring. Now, at the same time, Colorado College did just get beat last week, and I was stunned. But it was by Letowski, who made 50 saves. So it's, and Omaha's no slouch. They're not a bad team. They're not a great team. They're not a bad team. So ASU, you don't have – I'm not knocking their goalie, but he's not a 50 saves game guy.
Yeah, I think he's not Joey Daccord.
No, he's going to need – but he's going to have that weekend for Colorado to lose. And I don't see it happening. And unfortunately, that does also probably mean – the end of the Sun Devils.
Yeah,
but they can
for this
back.
season.
Thankfully, they're in the NCHC, strong conference, lots of ranked teams there.
Yep. And I think they're only going to get better as the season goes. But I think they may, they really got to be careful that they don't play themselves out of the tournament early in the season. Yes. Now, I don't consider their Penn State losses bad losses because we expect Penn State to be a top 3 team in the country. Right. And they are that. So I'm not giving them a hard time for that. But they got to beat the teams we expect them to beat. Why don't you get into your bets for the weekend? And we will follow the show.
We got a lot this week, or at least Friday, so I'm very excited about that. As I said, Savage just told me it was plus 1,200 on Letowski winning the Richter. That is the number 1 goalie in the country. So that was the first one I'll touch on real quick. But my first bet that I'm going with, Michigan on the 60-minute line. For those that don't know what that is them to win in regulation by 1 goal or more. It is a little different than the 1.5 because you can simply win the game 3-2 as long as it ends in regulation. I'm taking them at home against Wisconsin. Saturday, I'd probably be looking at like a plus 1.5 line for Michigan or Wisconsin, I should say. But Friday, I love Michigan's 60-minute line. UConn, I like them money line against Providence as well. Simply being, as I said, Viking is just a beast of a human being. I will try to get a picture of him Saturday when I see him in warm-ups, and I'll try to
post it, tag me.
Yeah, he's just massive. Like he's a refrigerator on skates. It's the best way I can describe him, and he can actually move his feet. So, and Providence struggles to score, and I think if UConn gets 3 goals, Providence is done. So that's why I'm taking the Huskies there at money line as well. Avi, you touched on this. I love Duluth at minus 1.5 for plus money. I'm not bashing St. Cloud. I'm not, but I really like Duluth. And I'm taking the over on the Colorado College ASU game. I did just say Merv Beck, phenomenal goalie. But where Colorado College did just give up 9 goals last weekend to a pretty equal skill in my mind to Arizona State. I think Arizona State can score 3. And so I'm banking on Colorado College to score 4 or 5. And a lot of people are like, oh, why not take them to win? And the reason being, I think it's just going to be a lot of offense. I don't want this to be a 3-3 game, and now I'm panicking in overtime. I want to put my feet up and go, it's 3-3. Worst comes to worst, I win in the shootout, and it's 4-3, and that's all that matters to me. I will probably throw a Heinz bet on Twitter as well, guys. So I'll pull 2 NHL games in there, and that's just something I like to do with the 6-way round robin. I find that's a great value bet. But for college bets, those are the 4 I'll be chiming in with.
You wanna give the we got time. You want to give your NHL ones? We can give your NHL ones.
Yeah, well,
I don't mind.
I haven't
We're gonna
done
do
too much
NHL
into
content.
Yeah.
Mike may be involved in it if he wants to be. but I'm going to do NHL content this year, guys. I just have not. I've had other things going on in my personal life that I prioritized over being on the stream. So that being said, you got upcoming games. Who do you like? What are your games for the NHL?
All right, so I don't have odds in front of me, guys. I do apologize. Out of the 4 tomorrow, I am looking at the Jets. Probably going to be a 1.5 there.
Oh, and over the Sharks are pretty good so far.
They are good.
Yeah, Sharks just coming off a 6-1 win against a really good Seattle Kraken team, by the way.
They are. I'm looking at the Isles there because they're at home, and the Wild are on a back-to-back. And they just played a pretty brutal game against Carolina. And I'm not sure on Blackhawks and Flames. I'm leaning on the Blackhawks. As I said, I'll wait for tomorrow to get goaltender matchups for the tweet to go out. But those are the 3 I'm looking at. I'm just not touching a Rangers Red Wings game right now. I'm not confident with either team.
Well, the Rangers are great on the road. They are terrible at home. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They play great on the road. They've got some quality road wins, and they can't do shit at home. They can't score. Besides the game against San Jose, which they lost, they scored 5 goals. They have 1 in the other 4 goal games. So they're dog shit at home. So if you're fucking betting the Rangers, fade them at home until they figure out how to win at home because they're guaranteed fucking money. So just to let you know on that one. And then Avi says he likes Boston over Toronto on Sunday. So I don't know, man. Toronto, I think a lot of people have been underestimating Toronto. And they just got Scott Laughton back. And when they get Tanev back, they're going to be I think the East is primed for Bear like no other. And I think this is Toronto's year to go to the Stanley Cup final. And I'm not coming off of it. So I do. I just think I think if you bet Toronto to be in the Eastern Finals, you're going to win a shit ton of money. They're going to make it. Because look, Florida, they might not make it right now. They got to get healthy and they got to healthy quick. And then they got to start hoping they play 700 hockey. Okay. So they got to basically do what Edmonton did the previous 2 years. And Edmonton by any stretch didn't have the best record in the West ever. So it didn't help them because you think if Edmonton had home games all the way through and they didn't have to leave, would probably benefit them. So, and Edmonton's gotten lucky in some series too. So you think eventually, look, Winnipeg looks good. But again, they always start the season well. Dallas, I don't know. Colorado looks solid. And the Vegas Golden Knights look good, man. Like they look real good. And they're not even the best team in the Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks. So those are the teams I've noticed for you guys. I've been watching a lot of hockey when I've had time. And Seattle, I think, is good enough to be a playoff team. I'm worried about LA. If I'm Calgary, I'm tanking. I'm getting rid of Kadri by the trade deadline, and I'm trading Rasmus Anderson. I'm getting something from Vegas because he's going to sign there anyway. And Vegas takes in Rasmus Anderson. They want to wait for him anyway because they got to have the cap room for him. But Calgary cuts half his salary in half for the remainder of the year when they trade him. Yeah, I think the Oilers are fine too, Avi. I just think they haven't been playing good, but they're going to be fine. I think they're fine. It's just like they better figure it out. The thing that's saving them right now is their power play. And we know how that goes in the playoffs, guys. Like, chances are if you have the best power play in the league, you don't win the Stanley Cup because they just don't call penalties in the playoffs. So I don't hope the Panthers miss. I really want to see them go chance for 3 because they'll probably be healthy by the time they get to the playoffs. That's what's scary. But if they are not, I definitely like Toronto in the Eastern Finals.
I will use I'll bring in the NFL a bit. Tom Brady was suspended 4 games for a Deflategate.
Yeah, did they go to the Super Bowl that year too?
They won, and a lot of people said, well, he looked fresher in the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, because he sat a quarter of the season.
And he was pissed. He was pissed because that Deflategate thing was the dumbest shit ever.
Right.
Like, even people that hate the Patriots were like, dude, just stop talking about it. No one cares. Every fucking quarterback came out. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I like the ball less inflated or more inflated. Every guy, I like the ball a different way. They let the kickers take the ball. It was the stupidest fucking made up shit ever. Sour fucking grapes. And if they hadn't have spurned Brady, who knows? They may never have won another one, but they pissed him off so bad he decided to stick around till he was damn near 50 and win fucking I mean, dude, thank God Eli beat him twice. The guy would have 10 Super Bowls if he never lost.
Yeah.
So it's like, good God. Like, sorry, Patriots fans, you had it good enough. Like,
I'm with you there. I was going to
look,
say,
as a
just
New York Giants fan, I would love to have my team be as half as good as the Patriots are right now. So they're good. They're good again. So I know I have Drake May in my fantasy, and he's kicking ass. So
that's a bold pick, my friend.
I
mean, not
and
more.
don't
It
give a
looked
fuck
good
because it's the luckiest shit ever. And you know what? The last 3 seasons I've lost in the championship or won the championship, and I've picked my quarterbacks off waivers. Jackson Dart is playing good. I'm excited, Avi, but that's about the only thing that's got me excited. I heard today in Rumor Mill that after the choke artist app against the freaking Denver Broncos, they were going to fire the head coach. And oh, by the way, it's snowing like a motherfucker here. We got snow now. So welcome. It's Alaska. So anyway, I was in one of those moods tonight. I appreciate you giving me the leeway to bitch about the refs. And it was a fucking awful steal of a game by the officials. The fucking Washington Capitals deserve better, but whatever. 45 minutes. We've been going strong on TikTok. 36. I love to keep the show short. Mike, we'll be back Thursday or Tuesday of next week. And then next Thursday, live 8 Eastern, like I said, from Zip Kombucha here in Anchorage. And I'm going to try to have 2 guests. So I'm going to work on those guests this weekend. One, a college hockey guest. And I got a couple for that. So I think maybe we'll be okay. And then the other, I'm going to try to have an NHL insider. So see if the guy can come on for me. And we'll keep it. It might be a little bit of a longer show, but we'll try to do 20 minutes with one and 20 minutes with the other. Mike, I will let you know who I'm thinking about when we're done off TikTok, everything, because I don't want anybody else to know. TikTok, you won't be able to watch. So I don't have a way to multi-broadcast across TikTok. I have to do it on simulcast with my other computer. So it's sort of a pain in the ass. I won't be able to do TikTok. I may try to do it on my phone, but we'll just see because I don't know what the Wi-Fi and internet's going to be like at the Zip Kombucha. So I'm excited. So I'm going to take my setup. I'm going to take my laptop and my microphone. So and my headphones, so there's not a lot of extra noise there. So anyway, I appreciate everybody. Mike, thank you so much for your picks. Everybody, Avi, all the people in the chat, TikTok, T-Mac, everybody on there. Appreciate you so much. We'll see you back tomorrow, next Tuesday, which is, Monday. We'll be back Monday to recap. Tuesday is Veterans Day. Then we'll be Thursday. It's a Veterans Day special live from Zip Kombucha here in Anchorage, Alaska. And I'm going to try to have some guests on, so we'll see. All right. Peace, everybody.